real simple. We have a doubling of the national debt. We have millions more in poverty and on food stamps. Labor force participation lowest in all of these years. You have the worst recovery since the 40s, if you want to even call it a recovery. Lowest home ownership in 51 years. Hillary's going to do the same. Why would...
You left out one thing, Sean. You've created more billionaires. So what typically happens in a left-leaning society is that the rich get very, very rich. They cipher off the top. And then the lower and middle class continues to struggle. And so when you have left-leaning policies, you have to judge them by what they actually do as opposed to their intentions. That's what Milton Friedman always said. And so the plan that the plan that Donald Trump is putting out is a brilliant plan because it inspires confidence. It's simple. It's easy to understand for the small business person, and it'll give people the opportunity to start consuming again, which will drive the consumption clock and growth in the United States.
Dan, let's look at what Trump laid out today. We'll put it up on the screen. 15% corporate tax. I also like the idea of all these multinational corporations. There's not millions, there's not billions, but there's trillions of dollars parked overseas that they won't bring back to this country because of the confiscatory taxation that they would face if they brought that money back. You lower the rate, you incentivize them to bring it back. That means they'll invest in research and development. They'll invest in manufacturing centers. They'll invest in factories. That's jobs for Americans. All right, 15% corporate tax, end the death tax, renegotiate some bad trade deals like NAFTA, stop TPP, repeal and replace Obamacare. Hopefully competition will lower the amount of money families are now paying, up nearly $5,000 a year, and lift energy restrictions. How many jobs can be created in the energy field alone, high-paying jobs, and we have the benefit of national security because we're not counting on countries that hate our guts for that lifeblood of our economy.
Sean, everything you say is 100% accurate. The jobs are in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions. One thing I'd like to say about Trump's speech today. The title of his speech was an America First Economic Plan, Winning the Global Competition. That's very key, because what he has proposed in the four main principal areas he focused on of taxes, trade, regulatory reform, and energy is all designed to work together to improve our ability to compete in the global economy. Not to run from it, not to be isolationist, but to actually go out there and compete and win in such a way that it benefits every American, not just the richest people in America and not just the multinational corporations. Most of America has been left behind.
Well, let's take a look.
95 million people.
Trump talked about it today. Detroit, per capita income, under $15,000, about half the national average. 40% of their city residents live in poverty, over 2.5 times the national average, Anthony. The unemployment rate, more than twice the national average. Half of all Detroit residents don't work. This is one of our greatest cities. You look at Detroit, Baltimore, all Democrat-run, and those cities tend to still vote Democratic.
Well, now because they're on the poverty maintenance dependency, Sean, and that's why they're voting Democratic, because they know they're going to get that lucre from the government. What you need to do in cities like that is create free enterprise zones, give them a school choice, which Mr. Trump talked about today, and create new infrastructure for them, and you'll see those cities regrow. That could be a very, very vibrant city in 10 years.
They're bulldozing entire neighborhoods and consolidating services. You see homes on eBay for $1.
But it's not the only city. You've got Newark right across the river. It could be New York, Sean, if we're not careful here.
Well, very scary. Thank you both. Dan, Anthony, thank you.